Welcome to Silver Bar Stacker, folks. I hope everybody's doing well and enjoying the end of their weekend. That's right, folks. It's the end of the weekend here, and it's Sunday, and so that means that tomorrow we're getting back to the grind, and it's the start of the work week again. But here at SBS, Sundays mean that it's also Stack Pack Sundays, and so I'm very excited to announce that we've got another SBS drop for us to go through the stack packs. And it's been kind of odd times lately. We just had Black Friday, and so we had a lot of sales. A lot of stores, unfortunately, were having a lot of technical issues with their websites, and so a lot of unhappy buyers, a lot of unsatisfied stackers who weren't able to capitalize on deals, and others who were lucky enough to capitalize on deals. Like, we had some specials going on the SBS site, and they might not have been spot deals or anything like that, but they were a pretty good deal, I feel like, for vintage. And so some individuals were able to seize the deals on Black Friday and others were not. But those who even were able to seize deals, well, ever since Black Friday, we've seen a crazy increase, a crazy jump in spot price. And guess what, folks? Surprise, surprise, we haven't seen any relief in premiums, right? When it comes down to buying generics and stuff like that, you haven't seen any relief in premiums. It's just like the price is stuck at $27-$28 an ounce for generics, right? And so when you see the price increase $3, well, first of all, Black Friday is over, so now nobody's having any deals, right? And then on top of that, the price has increased and nobody has adjusted the premiums downwards. And so now it's like, well, nobody's interested in buying. The people who got deals on Black Friday are not interested in buying. The people who are kind of bitter because they missed out on the deals on Black Friday, they're certainly not interested in buying at an even higher premium. And so now it's just kind of like, what do we do? Well, one thing I'll tell you that you shouldn't do is, and I was watching Savage Stacker today, he made a very good point, is that you shouldn't resort to FOMO because we've seen a short-term pump. I mean, it's very possible that you see the price go back down, maybe the trend keeps going forward, or maybe we just stay stagnant. I mean, the fundamentals are great, obviously for silver, and I personally think it's very undervalued, but at the end of the day, fundamentals are fundamentals, right? Everybody goes by pretty much the same fundamentals. What's vastly more important is what comes down to your personal stacking strategy and what is your personal responsibilities, right? Stacking is savings, right? And so everybody has their own stacking strategy. Everybody stacks at their own pace. Everybody is at a different position within their stacking journey, right? And so and people's stacking strategies fluctuate over time. You may be going through seasonal periods at work or something where you don't got any cash flow come in. Maybe you're just not working for an extended period of time. At that time, you got to be in savings mode, and you might not have excess cash to stack, right? And so you got to prepare for that. So everybody's stacking strategy is dependent upon their own personal situation, right? And so never ever, if you ever feel like, oh, I'm gonna miss out, well, let me tell you something. There's always gonna be silver available. There's always gonna be an abundance of silver to be able to buy in some shape or form. You might have to pay a different price for it, but you're always gonna be able to get it. And it's not like these prices are that volatile, all things considered, when you especially when you compare it to some a lot of lower market cap assets and stuff like that, especially paper assets. You see those things, you can lose your shirt on that, you can gain your shirt, but these right here are proven stable assets, right? So that's all I got to say about that. Always be responsible with your stacking. Now that I made that point, let's get into the stack packs, the contents of this week's SBS drop. There's actually 7 stack packs available, and there's going to be a limit of 2 per household. This is a new rule that we've been switching up. Before we were doing 1 per household, but now we're gamifying a little bit more and we're limiting it to 2 per household. So if you do manage to be able to claim an entry, you can either grab 1 or you can grab 2, but no more than 2. So please read the rules before placing your order, and these are all the stack packs that you're going to be potentially receiving. If you enter 2 slots, you would be guaranteed to receive 2 of the items from this prize pool. And so let's go ahead and get straight into this. We'll be drawing these once the drop sells out. We'll be drawing all of these from our infamous pillowcase, on the next episode. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what we got here. I was talking to a repeat customer actually, and they were talking about, they're frequently get involved in our drops, and they were talking about how, well, it would be really cool if we could have like a cheaper drop, and they had even suggested like it'd be cool if we could have like a $35 drop, because vintage silver at $35, that would be a killer deal. That's pretty much the cheapest we ever have our SPS drops for, because they usually contain like vintage or vintage pieces. In this SPS drop, we actually got a couple pieces that aren't vintage. We got a modern collectible coin here. This is a $2 legal tender coin, Star Wars Millennium Falcon. And we've also got a couple generics here. Generic bar, generic round, TD Bank. These are Canadian generics. So in an effort to heed that advice from our repeat customers saying, hey, it'd be cool if we'd get some relief on the premiums, I was like, you know what, that's a really good point, because nobody's getting relief on the premiums because the price has gone up, the premiums have stayed up, and so now nobody is interested in buying because it's a full $3 more or whatever it is, and so nobody's interested in buying. So I was like, you know what, that'd be a good point, because we regularly do like 40, 45, sometimes even $50 drops, right? And sometimes even those $45, $50 drops sell out. But let me tell you one thing, the $60 drops that we were doing for the TD Tuesdays, I think we're going to stop doing those, because those are a little bit more pricey, and because they contain a little bit more premium items, and I think that was kind of shying people away from getting involved. And so I think we're just going to discontinue those and just do the Fractional Friday and the Stack Pack Sunday drops, because when it comes down to it, I think people they like to get cool collectible pieces, but at the end of the day, you want to be a little bit more savvy with your stacking, right? So without further ado, let's introduce the stack packs on this $35 drop. We've got a Johnson Matthey vintage bar right here. That's a pretty sweet pickup, I would say. A serialized bar, got the JM Hammer logo there on the back, and these 3 stack packs above are part of our actually serialized stack pack lines. If you're not familiar with our serialized stack pack lines on our website, there are certain items where you only can buy one at a time. So those stack packs that you can buy one at a time, those are serialized, right? And so the first 2 and this is the Johnson Matthey serialized stack pack line. The first 2 serialized Johnson Matthey stack packs have already sold. Somebody out there already possesses those. They already own those. This is the 3rd one available. This would be the 3rd Johnson Matthey silver bar we sell. We don't sell too many of these very quickly. We're a very low volume store. So this is the 3rd one. The only way you can get this is if you opt into the draw and you draw this one. So that's pretty cool. So the first 2 are out there. Somebody actually bought those directly off of our website, but this 3rd one we're going to toss into this week's drop. We've also got 2 other serialized stack packs. We've got a TD Bank, serialized TD Bank stack pack line as well. We can do one at a time. Somebody's actually already purchased the first one. That was a half-ounce TD Bank round. Somebody snagged that one for like $25. So this is the 2nd serialized TD Bank stack pack, and this is just a normal generic TD Bank silver bar. Pretty cool. No serial number, nothing like that, just a generic bar. But this is a serialized stack pack, like as opposed to this one. This has this generic TD Bank 1 ounce round, but this isn't serialized. So this is not part of the serialized stack pack line. This is just a generic TD Bank round. Over here you've got an Engelhard bar. This is part of our Engelhard serialized stack pack line. We've already sold 2 Engelhard bars in the past, SBS 004-001 and SBS 004-002. Those have already sold. They're out circulating somewhere out there. The only way you can get that is if that person decides to resell it on the secondary market. Okay, so the only way you can get the 3rd serialized Engelhard stack pack is if you opt into the drop and you happen to draw it. If SBS draws this for you, that's the only way you can get this bad boy. So this right here is a portrait style Engelhard bar. You've got the E, it's a large E, tall and large E centered there in the globe. Pretty cool. So this right here is a 1.15 million minted bar. Check that out. Sorry, I've not been bringing up these bars closer. You probably haven't been able to see any of the fine details. Sorry about that. So that's that. And then over here we got one of my favorites. We got the 1984 Engelhard Prospector round. Beautiful condition right there. And that's got the American Eagle there on the back. This is the first year that the Silver Eagle was put on the reverse of the Prospector round. So it's a very special round. Only 75,000 of these minted. So this is just not a serialized stack pack, it's just a normal stack pack. This right here, folks, this right here is a $2 legal tender silver coin, actually. This is a Star Wars Millennium Falcon, produced by the New Zealand Mint. It's got the Queen there on the back. It's a $2 legal tender coin. Very cool. And then finally, you've already seen the TD Bank round, right? Already seen the TD Bank round. But we've also got a Sunshine Mining 1986 round in the original factory seal. So on this stack pack, we tried to keep it reasonably priced. Sometimes you'll see pretty crazy drops, right? Sometimes you'll have an opportunity to get 2 ounces of vintage silver and stuff like that. Those are usually higher price drops. Those are usually like a, you know, between the $40-50 range. So, you know, in an effort to keep the cost lower, and in an effort to make this week's drop a little bit more accessible to provide some relief from the increased spot price, we've got a $35 drop, 2 entries per household. Now, in addition to that, I wanted to open up this cool mail call. This is the second set I've been able to manage of this to acquire this item, and I never thought I would ever have an opportunity. It was so special that PMG was able to, Poor Man's Gold, he was able to help me work with his local coin shop to be able to acquire the first one of these that I got. But I'm so happy that I was able to acquire a second one of these, because there's only 1,000 of these things that were made, believe it or not. 1,000 of these. And so it was really, really special. I got the first one, but the fact that I was able to get a second one, I saw it up for sale, I had to grab it immediately. Very nice packaging job. Gotta be careful with this, because this is actually in a nice wooden box. What I received is in a nice wooden box. And like I said, this is the second one that I've received. Second one of these that I have. Check this out. I can't believe they put tape on here. Okay. Statue of Liberty. It's a wooden box. This right here, folks. And this comes in a Johnson Matthey version as well. I have not been able to get the Johnson Matthey one. I've seen a couple for sale in the past, but I haven't been able to win those. But this right here is an Engelhard, folks. This right here is an Engelhard set. There's only 1,000 of these made. It comes with the matching assay cards for the 5 ounce, the 10 ounce, and the 1 ounce bars. And right here, folks, look at this. How incredible is this? 1,000 of these specialty boxes, wood boxes made, containing the full set of 1 ounce, 5 ounce. And 10 ounce Liberty Trade bars. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. Cheers.